Well, if you've been in the industry long enough, you are very well aware of Jack and Elaine LaLanne as pioneers in our industry who have made such a lasting impact on the fitness industry. Just a few weeks ago, I was in San Diego, and Lala just celebrated her 100th birthday. So we were there to celebrate with her, 100 years old. And I got to tell you, she is as sharp, beautiful, strong, and as inspirational as ever. And so on that note, in order to honor Jack and Elaine, everyone stand up. Everybody, we must do 10 jumping jacks, low or high impact or low impact. Get them done. 10. If Lala can do them, anyone can do them. Yep. High or low. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Yeah. High five. Woo! Okay. Now that we're all awake, please pay attention to the screen as we honor Jack and Elaine LaLanne.
Hi, I'm Elaine LaLanne, and Jack LaLanne was my husband. Jack was known as the godfather of fitness, and which makes me the first lady, I guess. Well, I was on television in San Francisco on KGO TV, and I was producing this hour-and-a-half show. I got this call from Oakland, California, and the gal said, I got this guy who can do push-ups through your whole show. And I said, oh, that's a great idea. That's how I first met Jack. In 1951, they offered Jack his own show on health and fitness. And it was the first kind of a show like that.
How do you exercise? Well, I'll tell you how you start. By just flipping your legs up and down like this. Can you do that? Then you're exercising. Come on.
In 1950s, people were not into health and fitness. But Jack was so dynamic that people would listen to him. And the audience became larger and larger and larger. Well, I think Jack's contribution to the world was all the things that he invented. If you use a stretch band today, guess where it came from? If you eat one of those nutrition bars, Jack LaLanne. If you've ever heard of the Smith machine, came from Jack LaLanne's head. You couldn't be around Jack without being inspired. You just couldn't. After Jack passed, I wanted to continue inspiring and motivating people at any age. I'm 96, going on 97, and I still work out every day. I have a formula for staying fit and healthy, and it's called ARCH. A for attitude. A positive attitude, you get stuff done. Negative attitude, you don't get anything done. R for resistance. Well, how do you think I got this? C for consistency. And the H from your ARC would be harmony. So if you have all these things, it equals harmony. I think the legacy of Jack LaLanne is the inspiration that he has given all the people. In this book, you've got Arnold Schwarzenegger, Denise Austin, Mark Wahlberg, and we want to give this inspiration to the young people that are coming up. They don't know where it all began, and this gives you an insight. I believe that Jack has made the world a healthier and better place.
Lala is a dear friend of mine, and I too was able to celebrate her 100th birthday a few weeks ago in San Diego. She actually wrote the foreword for our book, and she released her first book at age 61, and most recently she released a book for her 100th birthday. So don't ever think it's too late to do something in life. She's a true inspiration to all of us and continues with the LaLanne legacy. But while I was with her, she knew she wasn't going to be able to travel with us to be on stage today. So she made a special video to announce the recipient of the 2026 IDEA Jack and Elaine LaLanne Award. Here she is.
Well, thank you. Thank you. It's always a pleasure to be part of this award. Jack believed that exercise is king, nutrition's queen, put them together and you've got a kingdom. He also helped inspire the world to fitness. And that's exactly what the IDEA Association is doing, inspiring the world to fitness. And one of the people this year that we're honoring is doing the same thing. And this year we are proud to announce that the winner of the 2026 Jack and Elaine Award is Dr. Judi Brown Clarke of the National Fitness Foundation. Congratulations, Judi.
Welcome to the stage, Dr. Judi Brown Clarke, this year's Jack and Elaine LaLanne Award recipient.
I'll rise unafraid, I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again.
Thank you so much. This is an incredible honor. All glory to God. And my husband, Hugh Clarke, who's here with me, couldn't do the things that I do. This is such an extraordinary honor. And receiving the 2026 IDEA Jack and Elaine LaLanne Award, it's meaningful to me. It's both personal and professional through my work through the National Fitness Foundation and also my role as Chief Health Equity Officer. The way I'm going to frame my remarks, sometimes we're so centric to the people that we serve, right? It's our clients first. I want to give some affirmation to you. I'll start with Jack and Elaine. Lala. I got a chance to meet Lala. And I was part of the world record jumping jack challenge. I don't care how much you think you're in shape. When you start doing 96 jumping jacks, that's hard. But it was an incredible celebration to her. But these visionaries who fundamentally changed how we understood health, longevity, and human potential. Long before wellness was the mainstream, before steps counted in wearable and in national campaigns, they recognized a simple but powerful truth. Movement is essential. It's not an add-on to life. It's a core component of it. And their work elevated physical activity from a personal choice to a public health priority, grounded in prevention, vitality, and quality of life. To continue that legacy is both, or to be connected to that legacy, is both humbling and energizing. It's especially meaningful to me because Lala, who at 100 years old, now you saw her do that push-up. Trust me, she can still do it. She reminds us that this work is lifelong, intergenerational, and enduring. The legacy we honor today is not only personal, it's structural and it's national in scope. The National Fitness Foundation is a nonprofit organization which is authorized by Congress to support the President's Council on Fitness, Sport, and Nutrition. This designation affirms that health and fitness are not just an individual concern, they're a national priority. The foundation is rooted in two interconnected histories: a national commitment to advancing public health through policy and infrastructure, but also pioneering fitness movement, which began in California, and leaders like Jack LaLanne helped make the fitness visible, accessible, and community-based. That legacy continues to shape how we about movement today, which is not an individual endeavor, but a shared societal capacity. So I want to center my remarks today in a very simple way and focus on what this conference has been focused on: what matters, people, play, and purpose. These are not just concepts, they're the infrastructure of impact. This work begins and ends with people. At the National Fitness Foundation, in my work as a Chief Health Equity Officer, our mission is grounded in expanding access to physical activity, particularly for youth in communities that have historically fewer opportunities. Fitness is not simply exercise. It is about opportunity. It is about whether individuals have realistic abilities to engage in movement and live active, healthy lives. This ability is shaped by systems, by environment, by safety, by time, by resources, and by culture. So we must be clear. Physical fitness is not a privilege. It is a right. It's a right to move, a right to access safe and supportive environments, and a right to build strength, resilience, and well-being. When we adopt that framing, we stop asking why people are not participating, and we begin asking, have we created the conditions that make participation possible? This shift changes how systems behave. It moves from optimal programming to essential infrastructure, from isolated efforts to coordinated design, and from individual choice to shared responsibility. There's a couple students at my table, so I'm going to speak to them. Nursa, where are you? So for the student, oh, we got Nursa. Okay, so it's somewhere back. Okay, I'm sorry, I was not recognized. For those students and those that are in collegiate recreation, you see this every day. You're often the first point of connection for students navigating a new environment. You create spaces where individuals feel seen, supported, and part of something larger than themselves. You reach students who may not have immediately found their place in the traditional settings of the campus and discover a sense of belongingness through movement. This is not secondary work. This is foundational. Play. Play is where connection begins. It is where stress is released, relationships are formed, and confidence is built. Too often, play is underestimated, yet it is one of the most powerful tools we have for engagement and retention. It supports mental health, strengthens communities, and creates entry points for participation. At the same time, access to play is not evenly distributed. It is shaped by structural conditions such as facilities, funding, staffing, program, and environment. If play is the pathway, then access to play must be intentional. To understand why this matters, we have to look how systems behave. And I'm a game theorist. Any of my people here? Anybody a game theorist? Okay, I'm by myself. Party of one. It's a useful lens. It examines how individuals make decisions when their outcomes depend on the actions of others. It is the central insight that rational individuals acting in their own interest do not always produce the best collective outcomes. Systems can become stable without being optimal. You have to have equilibrium without equity. A system may be functional, yet it still fails to serve everyone. This is often described as Nash equilibrium, which nobody here appreciates. So, where no individual can improve their outcome by changing their strategy alone, even though the outcome is not ideal. We see this in health and education and recreation, when departments operate independently and resources are constrained, when incentives are misaligned, individuals make reasonable decisions that lead to suboptimal results. Game theory also helps us understand the difference between a one-time interaction with repeated interactions. So trust, reciprocity, reputation all begin to shape behavior. Collegiate recreation operates in the space of repeated interactions. You're not engaging with people once. You're building relationships over time. That environment, cooperation, inclusion, shared investment are not just values, they are strategically sound approaches. However, for systems to hold, they must be designed intentionally. People must respond to the incentives around them. Reward systems cannot create isolation. Collaboration cannot decline. If access is limited, competition increases. If scarcity dominates, people protect what they have when systems reward participation. But when systems reward participation, expand access, and support shared outcomes, behavior shift. And this is the foundation of what we call social justice, equity, and access. This is where purpose becomes essential. It helps us to redesign systems that function over time for all. And in my role of Chief Health Equity Officer, as well as the National Fitness Foundation, the focus is on aligning systems so opportunities are not determined by geography, by income, or circumstances. that requires collaboration across healthcare, education, research, and community organization. It requires us to examine how resources are distributed and how decisions are made and how incentives are structured. No single sector can solve the health challenges we face today. Health and wellness are interconnected systems. When these sectors operate independently, we may optimize certain goals, but the collective outcome remains incomplete. That's why your work is critical. Everything you do contributes to this. Every program, every facility, every space is a connection and influences who participates, who feels welcome, who returns, and who thrives. The challenge ahead will require more than individual excellence. They will require coordinated efforts, shared responsibility, and commitment to collective progress. This is what it means to focus on what matters. People are the reasons, play is the pathway, and purpose is the driver. As I accept this award, I do so with the deepest gratitude and a strong sense of responsibility. The responsibility to continue expanding access, to strengthening systems that support health, to ensure that every individual has the opportunity to live a healthy and fulfilling life. This work is not just about fitness. It's about dignity, opportunity, and creating the conditions where people can thrive. So, as we remain focused on what truly matters and align our systems, strategies, and purpose, we're not simply honoring a legacy, we are advancing it. So I will close with this. The future of health will not be determined by any one of us, of what we can do alone, but by which all of us are willing to do as we build together. Thank you so much.
I'll rise like a day. I'll rise up. I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up. And I do it 1,000.
Wow, amazing.